Well, hello everybody. I just got done harvesting my first batch of cucumbers, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make some homemade pickles. Let's get started. Aside from this pot, this is everything you'll need to make this basic recipe. A small handful of ingredients and utensils. Ingredients are dill seed, pickling cucumbers, garlic clove, pickling salt, and vinegar, and don't forget water. You will also need a quart-sized jar with a lid, a 1-cup measuring cup, a tablespoon measuring cup, and a knife. Take your cucumbers. Slice them however you like them. I'm going to go ahead and slice them into spears. As you finish cutting them, dump them right into your quart jar. These are going to be absolutely delicious. I cannot tell you how awesome a homemade pickle really is. You would have to find out for yourself. And you really should. What else you gotta do in life? Oop! That was the one that got away. I am pleasantly surprised. That is a very full jar. I think I'll leave these little ones whole for a couple little gherkins, as they call them, right? I think that's got enough cucumber in there. We'll go ahead and leave it at that. That looks pretty good to me. I don't know about you. Next, let's add some garlic cloves to this bad boy. You don't want to add a ton because garlic's pretty powerful. I just peel a few cloves out. Shoot, I got 3 here. That's probably good enough. Take your cloves, and garlic's kind of a pain. I just slice it lengthwise. You want to peel off that outside stuff. You definitely don't want any of that. As you can see, I'm peeling this outside layer off of the garlic there. Getting the garlic ready is probably the most difficult part, but it's not too bad. So, a couple more here. I'm sure there's plenty of ways to prepare garlic. This just so happens to be the way I do it. It works pretty well. See, that came right out. Just cut it lengthwise. You end up with 2 pieces. Peel the outside layer and kind of work it a little bit. Work it. You gotta work it. Okay. This one's not working very well, but just keep working it. Alright, that one's ready. It's a nice, ready looking garlic clove. Okay, oh, that one come out real easy. We like it when it does that. Last one. Get rid of all this little outer layer scraps. We don't want those. And my hands are sticky, and I don't like that, so I'm going to wash them. When you start playing around with garlic, your hands tend to get very sticky. Okay, then we take our completed garlic, And we put it right in the jar with our cucumber slices. Next, we're going to go ahead and add some dill seed, not dill weed, to our jar. And you want to measure this out. I got my tablespoon measuring spoon here, and I'm just going to fill it with some dill seed till it's full, or at least close to. That's roughly 1 tablespoon. Dump that in. And we'll do another tablespoon for a grand total of 2 tablespoons of dill seed. Shake it around a little bit, get that dill down in there. And then actually this jar can set off to the side now while we make the brine, because we're done with that for the time being. Brine is just essentially water, vinegar, and salt. For a quart, I want to use about 2 cups of water. There's 1, 2. And just for good measures, I'm going to give it another little splash, just to make sure we have enough. Then, we're going to need a cup of vinegar. That's about a cup. This is just distilled white vinegar, 5% acidity. So now we got our 2 cups water, 1 cup vinegar, and we need a tablespoon, roughly, of salt. Pickling salt, of course, not regular table salt. And then we turn our burner on. I'm going to crank it on high just till it starts to kind of get a boil going to it, and then I'll reduce to a simmer and just let it go for just a little bit till the salt fully dissolves. So our brine is starting to get kind of hot now. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's still a little bit of a haze to it. You can kind of still see the salt. I'm just going to give it a little stir. It's getting pretty hot. I really have to bring it to a full boil, which it's getting there. Just kind of want to simmer it a little bit. That salt is starting to disintegrate. In fact, I can't see it anymore at all. I'll go just a little bit longer, just for good measure. And then I'm going to take it off of the heat. Not much to that. So I'm going to let it sit here on the stove top and cool down just a little bit. You don't want it to cool down completely before you use it, but it doesn't need to be blistering hot either. Okay, the brine has cooled enough to where it's still pretty warm but not blistering hot. And I'm going to go ahead and pour it right into our jar. And it used most all of that liquid. I have a little bit left over. I'm just going to discard it. That's why I threw that little bit of extra water in there, is just to be safe rather than sorry. I'd rather my jar be full than empty. So there you have it. That's pretty much it. It's all in there, all ready to go. It's filled to the top with liquid. And your cucumbers are pickling. So while it's still warm like this, it's important that you get your lid on. Yep. Because what seals your pickle jar is actually the cooling of the liquid. It kind of creates sort of a vacuum that seals it for freshness. Wow, that's fantastic. Let's set this over here on the table and let it pickle. Now, As far as the pickling wait time goes, I would let it cool on the table for a little while at least before you put it in the fridge. And don't eat them for at least 24 hours. Probably even longer than that, honestly. Some people choose to leave these out on the table overnight, 12, 24 hours on the table before they transfer them into the fridge. I just let it cool on the table for a few hours and then I slap them suckers right in the fridge. Works out just fine. But there you have it. That's a really, really simple recipe. And I'm glad I got to share it with y'all. And more stuff coming soon. So until then, my name's Tony White. See you later.